So from Breitbart here, a Trump admin has scored its first ever Antifa terrorism convictions. So the Trump administration is serious, and it's time somebody did. I mean, Antifa is just the kind of Democrat paramilitary. That's why they're mad about it, right? But it's the Democrat paramilitary. And of course, the Democrats like them, so the media likes them too. They're just an idea or something, and they're against fascism. And isn't everybody against fascism and stuff? It's so strange. It's still strange to me. I'm so used to it at this point, but it's still so strange to me that when you see people who are supposed to have some sort of journalistic authority, on the news, where, once upon a time they were seen by millions of people, not so much anymore, but so curiously incurious about what something like, I don't know, like an organization like Antifa, what they actually do. Because if they had the slightest bit of curiosity and they were to interrogate it just the slightest little bit, they'd realize that it's not, well, they're just against fascism. No, it's not really that. They seem to act a lot like fascists, right? It's not really that they're just a bunch of nice guys who are they're against racism. No, these are violent revolutionaries. These are violent communist revolutionaries, okay? And Aaron Burnett, they also hate you. But in any case, let's take a look. So, 5 plead guilty in Texas ICE facility ambush. First ever Antifa terrorism convictions. In a landmark case, 5 members of a North Texas Antifa cell have become the first defendants in America to be convicted on terrorism charges, pleading guilty to providing material support to terrorists after a violent July 4th ambush on the ICE Prairieland detention facility in Alvarado, Texas. You've got these 5 people here. Got 5 people entered their pleas on November 19th in shackles before a federal judge in Fort Worth, admitting their roles in the attack that left a police officer shot in the neck. Each now faces up to 15 years in prison, marking what prosecutors call the nation's first successful terrorism case against Antifa militants. The plea by 5 now convicted Antifa terrorists comes just days after a federal grand jury indicted 9 North Texas Antifa cell operatives, the U.S. Attorney for Northern District of Texas reported. 7 additional alleged terrorists were charged by information for their role in offenses including rioting, using weapons, and explosives. So, I mean, not really so much just an idea, it turns out. Providing material support to terrorists, obstruction, and attempted murder of an Alvarado police officer and unarmed corrections officer at the Prairieland Detention Center, July 4th. This is the first indictment in the country against a group of violent Antifa cell members. So during a 40-minute plea hearing before the U.S. magistrate, Judge Jeffrey Curtin, the judge asked the 5 defendants if they suffered ailments or took medication that would prevent them from understanding the proceedings. Well, mental illness is a serious, that's well known to be, Antifa is rife with mental illness. And also, like, half of them are trans as well. So, unsurprisingly, 2 of the Antifa gangsters claimed depression, 1 claimed bipolar disorder, and the other 2 claimed ADHD. The judge did find them to be competent and accepted their voluntary guilty plea. Let's see. According to a press release from the Justice Department, the defendants, dressed in black military-style clothing, began shooting fireworks at the facility as part of an organized attack. So, USA Larson revealed the 9 indicted suspects were charged with riot, providing material support to terrorists, conspiracy to use and carry an explosive. I mean, it goes on. This is all very serious. So, the now convicted Antifa terrorists each face up to 15 years in federal prison. They are set for a sentencing hearing on March 12th. So this can only be described as a victory for reason, basically. and civilization, because Antifa are revolutionary communists. You can call them anarcho-communists, whatever, but they are for burning down your civilization. And you just simply can't have that. There's only so much you can just allow these Bolsheviks, these modern Bolsheviks, to just run around creating havoc and terror. We know what happens when you just allow that to happen. You end up with the Russian Revolution, and you end up with the Red Terror, and then just 70 years of just a boot on a human face all the time. You end up with just millions of people dying needlessly, right? Just an unimaginable amount of just wasted human potential. So yeah, you can't just let them run around being terrorists. You've got to stop it. This is a good sign. All right. I want to go back here for a second. Here, Andy, no, the first Antifa terrorism convictions in U.S. history just happened, and they're all just what you thought, right? They're all just what you thought. They all are weird, funny looking people, aren't they? Funny looking people. What do you call it? Dysgenic? Is that what you call it? Yeah, so the Trump administration has gone hard on this. I mean, look, here's one in Germany, Antifa Ost, Hammerband. They just go around and attack people with hammers. Right? You think that you think that Antifa in Canada or in the US doesn't want to do this as well? Of course they do. They're violent people and they have killed. So anyway, that's good news. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.